Most of the game back with another episode coming to you on this Sunday once again. I was going to record an episode on a Wednesday. That's normally when I do because that's my off day during the week. But last night something happened that I had to speak on, and that is the Tua Tagovailoa injury concussion situation. And it's the inspiration for today's podcast. Also with the podcast, I'm going to try to do a better job of talking to you guys conversationally. It can be hard because it's a one-man podcast back when I had my co-host Keem, and that was a whole lot easier. But I'm going to do what I can to make this a whole lot more casual, friendly, fun-loving. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Ben, my teammate Ben. I know he watches, and I'm going to give him a shout-out because he wanted a shout-out. Shout out to Ben. Let's get into today's topic, which is the myth and misconception that teams and coaches have players' best interests at heart. A lot of people think that teams and coaches are looking out for players. They're going to do what's right by them, but that's not really the case. You look at Tua Tagovailoa. He got injured last night. This is Friday following that Thursday night game. In the game Sunday, he hit his head against the grass. He got a wobbling, fell down again. He didn't have his faculties. He was out of it. You can tell that he was concussed. And they ended up putting him back in the game. They won the game. Hooray. And then you get to Thursday night, a few days later, 4 days later, and he didn't even practice during the week, as far as I know. And he gets hit, hits his head on the ground again, and he is stuck. He was in a very disturbing position. He looked like his body was shutting down, his brain was shutting down. He was stuck. I don't know how long he was on the ground before they carted him off, but it was tough to watch when I saw the highlight or the video when I woke up. It shows you that teams and coaches do not put players' best interests at heart, because if you saw what happened in the first game, then you knew that he was concussed and not ready to play, especially on a short week. That was not a good decision by the coach, the doctors, the training staff, anybody that was involved. That was not it. And you could see this, the fact that coaches and teams don't put the players first in non-injury situations, where look at the Boston Celtics some years back with Isaiah Thomas. He was their leading scorer, their guy, averaging close to 29 points a game, I think. His sister passed away right during the playoffs. He played the game through that. They were in the conference finals. He was up for a big extension. They ended up trading him away. He had a messed up hip and all, playing through the playoffs. He was never physically the same anymore after that. And they just threw him away for the next best piece they could get to build a championship team. It's disheartening for sure, because with team sports, you buy into the family. You buy into the team. You buy into what your coaches and what your GMs tell you, that they're all in with you. You're all in. It's not really like that, though. It's not. My favorite coach, my best coach I ever had, my high school coach, he did everything right by me. Love him to this day. He's been on the channel before, Coach T. And even at that level, you can understand, even though he made sure that, I was straight in everything, his number one priority still was to win games. That's what, his job is to do, win games. I had aspiration to play collegiately. I want to have good stats, have good film. Also, of course, I wanted to win a championship. But his number one goal was not for me to get the best stats I possibly could or get the highest offers I possibly could. He was going to help me do that after the first goal, which was to win a championship and win the most games possible. And you just got to understand that it's not a bad thing, but that's just how sports is. A coach's job is to win games. A team, organization, general manager, their job is to win games. Collegiately, you definitely see it. Coaches, they don't care if you get your stats or not. They just want to win games. They want you to play defense, win games, because all the other stuff doesn't matter. If they win a game 50-45, they're cool. You had 2 points. They don't care. They got the win. They won a championship. That's just how it is. They have to win games, and you have to put yourself first and do what you can to produce and have fun playing the sport you love. So another example is there was this college player, not at my college, but there was this college player that was a great player, leading scorer, the man. And there was this coach that allowed this player to do basically whatever, no discipline, no repercussions. And he enabled him all throughout college. And when he graduated college, or when he got through with college or whatever, it was time to go pro, it hurt him in the long run because he didn't have to worry about coaches being hard on him and discipline him, like not letting him do whatever he wanted to do. Like that hurt and stunt his growth, like as a professional. And the coach probably knew that that was going to happen in the long run, or he wasn't even thinking about it or cared if it was going to happen in the long run, because the coach's number one job was to win games. And as long as that player was out there and able to win games, he didn't care. He didn't care if he got his degree. He didn't care if he was going to be good on the next level. He didn't care if he developed as a man, because a coach has to win games, and that's it. I'm a big Auburn football fan, and I remember Auburn used to run their running backs into the ground, like 30 carries a game in the SEC all year long, like run them into the ground. And they would get their 1,000-yard seasons and be pummeled by the time they left there. And you never saw any of those running backs have a long or successful career in the NFL. Like, the guy that probably had the most success that I could think of is probably Peyton Barber, maybe, and he might be known as the worst one of that era of running backs they had in the Gus Malzahn era. And he probably did the most in the NFL that I can think of off the top of my head. It's crazy, like, because he probably had the least mileage and on his body. Like, he wasn't getting beat up season after season. He probably played one season at Auburn or something and went to the NFL. So the coaches weren't thinking about, oh, we can't run these running backs to the ground. They were thinking about, no, we're going to run this ball. I don't care what happens to their bodies. Like, next man up if he gets injured. And we're going to try to win these football games. Especially in a sport like football, that is just, it's tough to see. You see it all the time as part of the game. That's how they do business. And you as an athlete, you got to do business as business is being done. You cannot think that these people are going to look out for you and protect you and have your best interests at heart. Their interest, no matter how good of a person, how nice they treat you, is to win games. And you have to be the one looking out for yourself. And it's not to say that these organizational teams are evil or whatever. Like, that's just how the business is. A business is amoral, meaning they're not out to get anybody, not to be good or bad. They're just out for the bottom line, which is winning and making money. And when you realize that, you'll realize that you got to put yourself first. I got it on my wallpaper. I had it on my wallpaper since my rookie season in Georgia, when I found out that's how the business is. Put yourself first, because no one else will. I hope that Tua recovers and comes back stronger than ever. He comes back with all his faculties. Sports is not the only thing that you're good at in life. There's going to be a life after sports. So I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, subscribe, follow us on all social medias. Please like this video. Please like the video. That's all I ask. Now, I'll be back with you guys next week with more content.
If you're a trainer looking to take your business to the next level, Jimble's got you covered. Scheduling, streamlined bookings, and payments make it easier than ever for you to focus on the important things. The team at Jimble created a platform that connects its users to athletic facilities, training, and events. So if you're looking for a better way to run your business and engage your community, tap in. You can find us at jimble.us. That's GYMBLE.us, or on Instagram at JimbleApp.